Much like Bruce Wayne keeping his Batman identity a secret, I've got something that I've been keeping from you. And you're not going to believe me when I tell you this, but it is the truth. I used to be a virgin. Not only did I used to be a virgin, I used to be a turbo virgin who was extremely proud of the fact that he was a virgin. In my early college years, I used to brag about being a virgin to anyone that would listen. I was like those dudes that stand on corners with the sign saying the end is near, just talking about doomsday. I was that with virginity. And every day was virginity day for me. I made a video talking about this a little while back, about how I used to brag about being a virgin. I really went hard on that being a core part of my identity in my early college years. When I did talk to girls, I would treat it like I was on Shark Tank and I was pitching my virginity to them like a business that they should invest in. It was very sad and pathetic. But I figured I'd share a few more stories from this era of my life, this arc in the Charlie anime, because there's some real golden nuggets in there that I think maybe a few of you could learn from. Though I don't imagine too many of you watching this right now think virginity is cool or something worth bragging about all the time, unless of course you're trying to be a pastor or teaching abstinence at a high school or some shit as like a sex ed teacher. But anyway, I wanted to share a couple of these stories. So the first tale from the compendium of Charles White's virginity stories is actually one that I shared on a stream recently. It was my sophomore year of college, 2014. Five Nights at Freddy's is the hottest shit, just came out. We've never seen anything like that. Our assholes blown wide open by Five Nights at Freddy's. It was a dark and stormy night, and my roommate had a girl over. It wasn't anyone romantic, they weren't together, they weren't, anything at all. It was a friend of his from high school who came down to party at the university. I did not go to a party that night. I stayed in the dorm room watching cartoons. After the partying had ceased and everyone had their fun, my roommate went to bed, but she didn't. She sat on the couch and watched whatever cartoon I was watching at the time. I think I was watching Justice League or some shit, so she was wet. And she just started talking about how much fun she had at the party and eventually asked me why I didn't go with them. And I tried to play it cool. I said, I had better things to do. And if I had a cigar, I would have lit it in that moment right there and just blew a big fucking puff. I was really trying to be suave about it, but the reality is the reason I didn't go was because I wasn't invited. It was a very low-key party, and this was when I still wasn't super familiar with my roommates. They were probably afraid I'd crawl on top of one of the tables and start trying to lead like a virginity chant, like, raise your hands if you're a virgin. Oh, just me? Even better, something weird. So they didn't ask me to go, which is why I wasn't there. But anyway, of course, me being this virginity evangelist that wouldn't shut the fuck up about virginity, we talked more about some shit, I don't remember what, but of course, me being the mysterious anime loser virgin extraordinaire back then, I eventually steered our conversation into a talk of virginity. And I started telling her about, how great it is being a virgin and how, maybe I'll lose it soon if I'm really feeling like it, as if I had, a ton of options, like my fucking cell phone was full of applicants to take my virginity. And she said something that still rings in my ears sometimes when I'm trying to go to bed. After telling her all of this about my virginity and telling it with a real smile on my face, really fucking saying it with my chest like I am a virgin, she hit 19-year-old Charles with a giggle and a wow, that's so sad. And she thought I was kidding, so she started making jokes about it, and I insisted that no, I was being serious, and I was like, damn. On the inside I was like, damn, that was brutal, that shit hurt, but she's not wrong. The more I say it out loud, the more I realize how sad it is. And then she goes on to say, I'll suck your dick if you want. And I went into a full fucking meltdown mode. It was like something out of Tom and Jerry when like the stars are going around when they're like knocked out. I was having like a fucking meltdown. And I eventually just went into like full Redditor mode. I was like, oh gee, whoa. No, madame, I could never ask such a thing of you. Absolutely not. I would not have that. I'd like my virginity to stay, thank you very much, you harpy, you succubus. So I stood my ground and declined the blowjob, which was a more than generous offer from her, might I add. She was just gonna take one for the team, a real champion. Like, what a great friend my roommate had. And honestly, I probably saved her life by declining that blowjob because I don't think she quite knew what she was dealing with and getting into. She was about to bite off more than she could chew. She was like Icarus flying way too close to the sun. If she did give me that blowjob, I would have blasted an unholy cum shot at an unreal velocity that probably would have pierced the back of her throat and gone out the other side. It would have looked like she got hit by a fucking sniper. My wiener had never even been accidentally touched by a human female. The closest thing my cock ever got to a girl touching it back during that time was when a girl accidentally hit me in the balls with her criminology book when we were standing up from the table in the classroom. So if she blew me, I would have busted a nut of biblical proportion, a dangerous nut. So really, I made a noble decision and saved her life by declining that. And I think that incident right there, where she said it was so sad that she was just going to offer me a blowjob, really put it in perspective how sad it really was. Because it was so sad that not only did she tell me to my face how sad it was, but she tried to offer like consolation, as if she was trying to console someone who was grieving. Pretty wild stuff. And I figured I'll share one more story, because this one's just as embarrassing. Probably not as embarrassing, though. It's probably worse. Before my sophomore year of college, my high school had a reunion party at one of the girls' houses. And this is when I had just started drinking, and I was getting after it. I was fucking hitting that alcohol real hard. And one thing that I've talked about this in the previous bragging about virginity video, but one thing I used to do is I would get drunk and start bragging about my virginity in different accents. Well, I remember at this high school reunion party with all my old high school classmates, I reached that level of drunk where it was time that Irish Charlie come out and start talking about his virginity. So for the whole night that I can remember before total blackout, I was talking in an Irish accent about how great it is being a virgin and how everyone who had lost their virginity had just failed to reach enlightenment. I was the happiest one being a virgin, all in an Irish accent, of course. And then I do remember one of the girls kissed me, and I pre-came down my leg. I don't know if it was like a pity kiss or something, or like pent-up feelings from high school, though I doubt it, because I was a real fucking weirdo in high school. But I remember one of the girls kissing me, and I pre-came down my leg. At least that's what I tell myself, that it was pre-cum. Honestly, it could have just been a full load that I blew down my leg. I really don't know. But I do know I wasn't invited to the follow-up high school reunion party the next year. So there's a very good chance that I might have just shit myself, honestly, down my leg. It could have been anything. It could have been any mystery fluid coming out of there. I couldn't tell you. But yeah. Just a couple more tales from this time where I thought bragging about being a virgin was cool. Again, the lesson to take away: bragging about virginity is a weird thing to do. So yeah, probably just avoid that. Don't do that. That's it. See ya. It's been a little while since the last time I sat you down at the fireplace with my bathrobe slightly ajar to tell you an embarrassing story from the period in my life where I've LARPed as a fucking mysterious anime character. This was around the time I was like 18, 19 years old, so like freshman, early sophomore year of college. And I've told many a pathetic story from this sad compendium of miserable social ineptitude. And there's one I haven't shared with you that I thought I'd share today. This was actually the first date I ever went on, like first official date. I'll just give you a brief lore update for those that haven't seen any of the other videos. Back in early college years, I thought it'd be great to reinvent myself as a mysterious anime character in real life. It worked for the anime characters. Girls were always trying to constantly like gobble on their meat. And so I thought, well, if it worked for them, it could work for me. So I wanted to be like super unique. I wanted to wear a chain with my favorite video game disc on it, Psychonauts. So just be like a fucking chain with Psychonauts on it. I also refused to talk to people. So if people talked to me or asked me questions, I'd respond with like moans and grunts instead of words. It was really goofy shit. Like talking to me would be like talking to an NPC in Banjo-Kazooie where they just respond with that's how I would pretty much respond to shit, or just complete silence. I have no doubt a lot of people on campus probably reported me to authorities as a potential threat to the university in those early year and a half, however long I spent doing that. But I eventually grew out of it. But during this time, I actually did get a date. My first real official date. Now, while this was my first date, it wasn't like I was a completely kissless virgin. I was a virgin who had been kissed once. It was a dare. A girl was once dared to kiss me because that was seen as such a punishment that in a truth or dare game, they made it a dare to kiss me. And I was like, fuck yeah, this is my time to shine. Probably pre-came and shit my pants at the same time. But anyway, I managed to get this date because a friend of mine from high school actually invited me to a party. We hadn't seen each other in quite some time, and they invited me out to go drink with them. At the time, I was completely straight edge. I didn't want to touch drugs. I didn't want to touch beer. I also wasn't even sure I ever wanted to lose my virginity. I was starting to think it might even be best if I didn't. But they invited me to this party, And I was still in this mysterious anime phase, and he invited me to play beer pong with him, and I was like, well, as long as I don't drink. And he's like, fuck it, Charlie, I'll just drink for you. Just fucking play with me. And I was like, sure, let's go. So we were playing, and then eventually his friends called him to do like a keg stand or something, so I needed a partner, and a girl hopped in to play with me. And I didn't say a fucking word to her. And I guess that must have been cool enough because she started talking to me, and then I eventually like mumbled out like, do you want to go to the beach? And she said yes. She gave me her number, and we set up a beach date for the next day. And my God, I don't even think I slept that night. I remember that night after the party, I went back to the dorm and I was just busting out hundreds of crunches and like bicycle crunches and shit, trying to sculpt out my abs speedrun style. I didn't eat, I only drank a ton of water, just trying desperately to get my six-pack to pop out a bit more. I was a lot leaner back then because all I focused on was being like ripped, but my arms were super skinny, so I just kind of looked like an actual poorly drawn anime character physique-wise. Nowadays, I'm just actually fucking jacked. But back then, I was like, all I need is abs, and girls will want to fuck me real good. So I'm in my dorm for hours just fucking doing an impromptu P90X routine till the sun comes up. And I text her, she doesn't respond, I start to panic, I texted her again, still didn't respond, I'm fucking freaking out, I'm like, oh my God, I've ruined it, I fucking blew it, holy shit, it's all over, she hates me, she probably reported me to the police because I was creepy, oh my fucking God. I text her again, I fucking triple texted her, literally the worst possible thing you could do. She finally responds just saying she was sleeping, and then I realized that that's probably about par for the course because it was like 9 a.m. I was like, it's fucking like Saturday, and I'm texting her at 9 a.m. like 1,000 times. It stands to reason that she might just be sleeping in. Fucking having a manic episode in the text messages there at 9 a.m. and then she still agrees to meet with me. She's like, yeah, we're still down for the beach, let's go. So we meet at my car. I play my boner jams, which was a real risk for me because the music I listened to then and the music I still listen to now isn't really popular. It's mainly like metal and shit like that. And luckily she likes that music. In fact, she even knew some of the bands like Cybreed. She liked Cybreed, which is still my favorite band right now. So that was cool, but I'd never done small talk or anything. So I didn't know how that was supposed to go. And I think she was picking up on that, so she took the initiative to talk to me. So she asked me, hey, did you have fun at the party last night? I said, nope. Which is a great response because, I mean, that's super cool. Like, hey, this guy is so goddamn badass. He didn't have any fun last night. But I do remember saying the only cool thing about the party was meeting you. I was like, that's kind of suave. So I hit her with that bit of smooth ass cheeks right there, to which she didn't really say anything. At least I don't remember her saying anything. Maybe she had just gotten completely sodden panties and, that's probably what happened. But she continues, standard stuff. What's your major? At the time it was digital arts. This was before I switched. Do you like digital arts? It sounds cool. What is that? And I was like, I fucking hate it. It's just making 3D animations. It sucks. So I'm just constantly doing my best to ruin any kind of positivity. That whole car ride was basically like condensed pessimism on wheels. And so she just keeps asking me these questions to which I'm giving like the worst responses to imaginable, convinced, like the anime characters I've seen before, that being different or being negative is cool to women, which it's definitely not. But she eventually gets to the dagger. What do you do? Like, she probably assumed I had like a job or something, because she did. So she's like, well, what do you do for work? What do you do? And I was like, can't get into that. It's a secret. Which obviously piqued her interest, because, like, what the fuck does that mean? Am I, like, a CIA spy? Am I a hitman? An assassin? Like, what the fuck is that? She's like, well, what do you mean it's a secret? It's like, I just can't get into that. I can't talk about it. So she keeps poking the sleeping bear. She's like, well, what do you mean? What do you do? Like, it's kind of weird. Like, what do you do? And eventually I'm like, I make videos on the internet. Keep in mind, this is 2013. The idea of being a YouTuber was a foreign concept back then. I'd also never told anyone about this. I never said out loud that I made videos online. I always kept that like my biggest top secret. I never ever talked about it, but in this instance, I was fucking desperate. I was pulling out all the stops. I was emptying my pockets of all the possible fucking spaghetti I could fill on the floor, vomiting anything that might help my chances of getting me laid. I would have told her I was Santa Claus if I thought it would help my chances of getting my cock wet. I was just going all out. Just this once. Just trying. So I told her I make videos on the internet, and she laughed at me, which just felt phenomenal. She thought I was just kidding because I had hyped it up so much to that grand wet fart of a reveal. She was probably just relieved more than anything because she probably thought I was a psychopath with the way I was answering, but I dropped that nugget of truth on her, and at the time, like I said, this wasn't really anything anyone talked about. Like, YouTuber wasn't a thing back then. Most of the most popular shit was like Facebook pages that people knew. And when it came to YouTubers, most people only knew like the biggest ones. The big one back then that I remember most people talking about was Epic Mealtime. And I also remember even things like I'm Schmacked were kind of big back then. But other than that, there wasn't a ton else that college students would think of when they hear of internet content creator YouTuber. So she didn't really find that all that impressive, and I've never treated it like a job or anything, but I just thought it was going to be a good answer to that question, one that she probably hadn't heard before, and she probably never did hear it before because she just straight laughed at it, which it didn't make me feel like my chances were being helped. She thought that I was just making like a joke out of it because I just made it like this hyped up thing, like, no, it's a big secret. It's a fucking government secret. I'm not allowed to say it. If I say it, the government's gonna come fucking kill me. And then I just reveal like I make fucking gameplay and commentary videos on YouTube. So she giggled at that, and then she asked what the channel was, so I showed it to her when we parked. I brought up the channel, and at the time, the channel video that would autoplay was my titty simulator game, which of course was a kind of weird look, so I bring that up. At the time I had like 800,000 subscribers, which is a fucking ton, and she was impressed by the number, but the content itself I don't think she was too fond of, because it was titty simulator, with me talking about fucking honkin' milkers being dragged around by their nipple, and then some of the other related ones were other weird games like don't shit your pants and things. So she didn't really want to stay on the channel that long, but she said congratulations to me, and I was like, well, okay, it didn't really work very well now, did it? So we finally arrive at the beach. Confidence is shot. I can tell that this mysterious anime character facade's not doing me any favors. So we end up just going to like a pretty crowded area on the beach at Clearwater and just laying down. And she played music with her earbuds in. And I just kind of laid there, you know, pretending like this was productive. Like, yeah, I'd always wanted a tan. I'll just fucking lay here with my ass cheeks hanging out, I guess. Why not? And just fucking sit there doing nothing while she's listening to music at the beach. At the end of it, I just kind of felt like I was an Uber driver who stayed a little too long. Like, she requested a ride, but then I had nothing else to do, so I also just went to the same destination. So we just kind of stayed there for like an hour, and then she's like, alright, I'm ready to head back. I'm kind of hungry. I didn't even bother asking if she wanted to get food with me, because I could already just pick up on the vibe here that it wasn't really going anywhere. So we go back, and then she hugged me, and I was like, fuck, it was all worth it, I got a hug, let's go, woo! So I got a hug out of it, which means I was a champion that day, but we never talked again, surprisingly. And that's how my first date went, so overall, pretty successful. Got off to a great start, really, in the whole romance world. And yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. I also think it's a pretty interesting look at how things have changed recently, because back then, YouTuber wasn't even a word in anyone's vernacular. No one had ever really like heard of that before. It wasn't really an explored concept, just kind of like this emerging hobby that some people would pick up on. But nowadays, I think it's like 60% of kids want to grow up to be like a YouTuber or internet creator, which is wild. So in less than a decade, it has completely changed. But back then, yeah, that shit was not looked at too positively. But anyway, I just wanted to share this story because I haven't done this one before, and I thought it was worth sharing. That's about it. See ya. It's been a little while since I've told this story, so go ahead and hop on my lap here by the fireplace and I'll tell you a tale. As is common with most of my stories I've told on the channel, this takes place during the period of my life where I thought it was cool to be a mysterious anime character. This was like my early years of college. As you can probably imagine, my ability to socialize during this time was absolutely pathetic. Having a conversation with a magic 8-ball would have been more fun and engaging than talking to me back then. Those poor souls that talked to me back then probably instantly regretted it, because having a conversation with old Charlie was like talking to Alexa if she was overdosing on Xanax. It was rough. Why is this important though? Because this is setting the stage for one story I haven't told yet. I've told so many stories when it comes to all of the fucking weird and creepy interactions I've had with women. All my fault, of course, just because I was so unbelievably socially inept. Like, it's hard to put into words how bad I was at recognizing social cues and how to be, like, acceptable in society. I fucking bought one of those fake cigarettes one time. You know that shit that kids would buy from Spencer's when they were like 12? I bought one of those things when I was 18 because I thought it looked cool and I hated real cigarettes. You know how fucking sad that is? I'm surprised I didn't buy one of those colorful propeller hats and started spinning it to try and look cool or something. It was rough. So what I'm saying is, socially, I was the worst thing you could fucking imagine, but it didn't stop me from trying to have conversations with women. I tried to fake confidence, fake it to make it, and all of that shit, and today's story will be in that ballpark. So, this story takes place in a location where all good social interactions take place, at GameStop. So let me take you back to the past when my social interactions sucked ass. This is GameStop 2012, 2011, somewhere in that ballpark. I was, of course, Virgin Boy Charlie, if you can even believe that. Some say I lost my virginity before my dad, but the truth is, I was actually a virgin, embarrassingly enough. And I was doing what all virgins did, using Reddit for some advice. And Reddit is one of the worst places when it comes to seduction and just general advice when it comes to human interaction, because it's the blind leading the blind. The people giving that advice, they have likely never talked to a human being before. They're probably getting all of their social cues the same place I was. Fucking anime. So I was using anime and r/relationship or something. I don't remember what subreddit. And these two things were clashing, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to take both of these, do like a little unholy fusion dance, and become this ultra Chad, the product of great advice and great animation. And I was going to channel this and show that, I'm becoming more confident in myself by flirting with girls in public. And I chose my first rodeo to be at GameStop. Before going to GameStop, I had decided that I was going to march into GameStop, right up to the counter to the girl that worked there and call her beautiful right to her face. I was going to look her in the eyes. I was going to say, ma'am, you are fucking beautiful. You are gorgeous. I don't know what I expected to happen next because I didn't have a follow-up. Maybe I was fantasizing like one of those dream scenes where all of a sudden, like an anime, the girl blushes and then she calls out her 3 twin sisters or something. And they all fall in love with me. I don't know. But that was my game plan. And I was hyping myself up. I was like a football player in the locker room before the championship game, headbutting lockers. I put on a necklace, and I never wear a necklace. I found like this old gold necklace from probably when I was a kid, but my neck is still the same size as a kid's, so it still fit. I spiked my hair up real well, fucking drowned it in gel, and I mean drowned it in gel. I looked like a freshly born baby covered in amniotic fluid up there, and I felt like $1,000,000. Today was the day I was going to say to a girl, she is beautiful. So I hop into my Batmobile and I cruise on over to GameStop. I get to the door, I open it, and it's like everything else just melted around me. Time froze, and there she was, behind the desk, the only female employee at this particular GameStop, and she looked miserable. Probably because she's working at a fucking GameStop, but I was gonna make her day better by being the only man in GameStop history with the confidence to say that she was beautiful. I'm sure she doesn't hear that every day from other socially inept fucking slime balls. So I was going to be the first, the trendsetter. Truly a pioneer. So I meandered around a little bit, just making sure I was building up enough confidence, going over the lines in my head. The line I was going to use was when she was done ringing me up, I was going to say, "Thank you, beautiful," and then wait to see her response, see what she says to this, hoping that she wouldn't call the police or have security come tackle me. So, I finally pick out a game, some used game I'm sure, because I was big into used games for a long time. I slam that shit on the counter because I'm ready. She starts by asking me a couple questions. Am I a member of GameStop Power Plus Ultra program? Well, no, I'm not. She's going off script. I wasn't accounting for this. It's freeform now. The dialogue has been all fucked up. I'm getting a little jumbled in my head. I'm getting nervous. I wasn't expecting to be interrogated by her today. I'm not a member of this GameStop program. Would I like to be? Well, shit, would it help my chances with you? I don't know. I'm going through all kinds of scenarios in my head. It's like a visual novel. There's a bunch of different branching paths I could choose from. I'm panicking. I'm breaking down a bit. My composure is starting to falter. There's sweat on my brow and a tickle in my sack. I was not prepared for this at all. She then asked me, do I want my receipt? Another question I wasn't anticipating. Do I say, "Thank you, beautiful"? Now, no, that wouldn't make sense because she asked me a question. I can't just respond with I have to answer the question. Everything's all falling apart at once. It's like Salvador Dali's painting where the clocks are melting. I'm running out of time. I don't know when to say this line. And no, I don't really want this receipt. What am I going to do? Wipe my ass with it? I paid $3 for some garbage used game. I tell her, no, thank you. You keep the receipt. And that's when she says it. A sentence that could dampen the pants of any man, even the strongest men. She says, "Thank you for shopping at GameStop." I freeze. I don't know how to respond. I stand there for what feels like hours, looking at the ground, wondering, is now the time? And then I decide I muster the courage within myself, the strength to go forward. I say, "Thank you, beautiful." I'm still looking at the ground when I say this, because I haven't earned the right to look my GameStop queen in the eyes yet. And then I do what any sane man would do. I ran away. I fucking jogged away. Before she could even like actually respond, I started jogging away with the bag in my hand like I just stole the game from GameStop. But I did hear her say, "Oh." I know for a fact she said "oh" as I turned my back to run away. I ran all the way to my car, hearing that "oh" in my head the entire way there, got in, slammed the door, and I thought to myself, Charlie, you did it. We just made that employee extremely uncomfortable, and man, do I feel like shit about it. It was a good lesson to learn. That was probably already like the 5th or 6th time that lady had been hit on that day by fucking weirdos like me. She probably just up and quit that day. That was probably the last straw right there. I don't know, because I never went back. I was just so goddamn embarrassed about this whole thing, but I do imagine she quit that day. But yeah, I tell you this story in the hopes that people will learn from it. Don't make the same mistakes I did. Don't be a fucking weirdo, and don't, yeah, that's basically it, really. That's about it. So yeah, this is a claim I've never made before. This is a world first for me. I think I have found the best video on YouTube. This is called Shocking. Woman was married to the wrong husband. And that title doesn't even encapsulate the beauty of this video. The title sounds like the fucking title to an R.L. Stine's Goosebumps novel. Mysterious husband eats my boogies at night. Ooh, yucky. But this video is so good. It's about a man performing an exorcism on a woman who's been taken over by an oral sex demon, and it's every bit as glorious as that synopsis makes it sound.
Look that demon! Look that demon! Look, oral sex! Oral sex demon! You see oral sex? Look, oral sex! Look!
Only a trained eye from a true ambassador of Jesus Christ himself could have identified that as an oral sex demon taking over right there. I can speak for all of us here when I say all of us little people would have absolutely missed this subtle possession. But once His Holiness points it out, it becomes so crystal clear that that is indeed an oral sex demon. That's oral sex. It's like she's giving a blowjob to an invisible spirit, a ghost. This is downright unholy.
You oral sex! Use oral sex! Let that sperm of that man out! Out! Out, you demon! Out! Let go!
Good lord, I almost started spitting up cum when he started just getting her with the incantations. Let the sperm of that man out! Oh my lord. Surprised everyone in that vicinity didn't just start like shitting out sperm, and they hadn't even been fucked by an oral sex demon. Very powerful stuff. I don't think anyone here would ever question this man's expertise in exorcisms. That, usually it's ectoplasm that gets spit out, but this is just straight semen, straight baby gravy coming out of this woman's mouth. He is literally jerking off the demon inside of her, and that demon is coming harder than he ever expected.
A demon came with his penis and put it in my mouth. And then he came again and he slept with me last week, and I told the pastor that I need deliverance again, and since then my private part has been itching.
Yeah, it sounds like a textbook case of an STD to some type of loser fucking scientist. Obviously that's the work of an oral sex demon that has all the telltale signs that she has been visited not by Santa Claus, not by the Tooth Fairy, but the oral sex demon, the OSD, and that is no laughing matter. I'd be lying if I said I haven't tried a similar excuse in my life growing up, like with porn and shit. Like, oh, a demon is coming over me. It's typing in Pornhub.com. It's not me. I don't know how that got in my search history. I've been framed by Satan. Oh shit, I'm accidentally going to twitch.tv/moistcritical and I'm following and subscribing. This is actually an angel taking control of you in that case. I stream on twitch.tv/moistcritical. Come check it out.
Yes.
Okay. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Speak! Who are you?
Now he's getting down and dirty, rough and tough. He's fucking fist fighting the oral sex demon inside of her, fucking karate slamming on top of her, blasting it out of her. Literally slapped her so hard in the head, fucking V8'd her in the forehead so goddamn hard she forgot how to speak. That's the demon coming out, because the demon doesn't know English. He only knows sperm. And damn it, we don't speak sperm up here, demon.
Look at that demon! Look at that demon! Look at that demon! Look at that demon! Who are you? Who are you? Speak! Speak out! Who are you? Who are you?
Yeah, he fucking executed her there. He murdered her. But in his defense, he never said that she would survive the exorcism, the deliverance. My dog was sleeping behind me, and the exorcism was so powerful that during his sleep it made him roll off the couch. He's sleeping on the floor now. He's all right. This man he's so powerful he is working through the computer.
Jesus' name. You demon can help you. Yeah?
When I first saw that, I was laughing super hard, and I expected seeing it again wouldn't make me laugh real hard, but it did. Every time I fucking rewind that and get ready to like do this segment here, I just start laughing again. He fucking Street Fighter shin kicks her like he's in an MMA competition. He's like, and then it cuts to her screaming in agony because this man just, busted her shins up real good, fucking blasted those bones. I mean, yeah, I'd be screaming too if this man just not drop kicked me, but gave me one of those little shin checks. This shit's painful to demons and humans alike. I guess we're not so different after all.
You in her private part. Demon in the private part. Watch what happens. Fire! 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 Come out from the private! Come out from the private! Come out from the private! Come out! Out! From the private! Go! 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 Go!
There is a lot to unpack on that action sequence right there, that anime arc. So he confronts the demon directly in her pussy. So he grabs his bottle of holy water and starts spritzing it, and you can see it in her face. She is in a lot of pain, but it's important to get rid of the demon in her private parts. So he keeps fucking spritzing her like an animal that's misbehaving that you're trying to train with a little spray bottle of water, and it's working. It's an effective treatment. She's fucking toughing it up. She's soldiering on despite the holy water burning her vagina, and then eventually he fucking slaps it in there, sealing all of the juices and banishing the demon back to hell. And as she's falling over in like the Mortal Kombat fatality, like wobbly and shit, like she's drunk, he starts like airplaning her. He's like looking around doing one of like these airplane maneuvers. What a fucking clip. I love this video and I can't wait to see more from this guy. I have to see more of his great work. I don't know how he's even going to take on like an anal asshole demon or something. That's going to be an entirely different one. I can't wait to see how he combats that raid boss. But I'm excited to see the rest of his catalog of exorcisms, and I hope you have now had your eyes open on the signs to look for in case you or a loved one are dealing with an oral sex demon. Call the Ghostbusters, call this man, and you'll be just fine. And that's the end of the video, really. It goes to like an interview about like, hey, what's your name? You're cured, you did it, we're good now, and then everyone's all happy, and I'm fucking happy too, because this video is great. That's it. See ya. Yeah, it's that magical time again where Grandpa Charlie comes over, sets you on his lap, asks you what you want for Christmas, ignores it, and tells you old war stories. Today I wanted to take you on a journey, a spiritual quest through the content I posted online when I was 15 years old, when I was just a boy coming into his own, a coming-of-age story of Charles when I was still just coming to terms with the fact that I might not get any taller. And I found some of it today, which put a big smile on my face, and I wanted to share it. Now, as I've said, I've made a couple videos on this, and in those videos I told you all that I made this channel when I was 11. On this channel I had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos that I deleted, both out of embarrassment and out of fear, because a lot of the stuff I uploaded was like music from unsigned rappers like Soulja Boy. Before he had a label, I used to post his songs on my channel way back then. And stuff like that, and I made montages using really popular music, and I was worried about getting striked for the DMCA. So I lit the whole library on fire and pissed on the ashes. I removed hundreds of videos, and I still regret it to this day. I'm still shaking my fist, cursing the day that my prepubescent mind decided that this was the proper course when dealing with a potential threat of DMCA. When my video got picked up by Ray William Johnson, the Q-Op video, I panicked. I thought like all of a sudden my channel was going to be on the radar of like music industry hitmen. I thought there was going to be like assassins coming for me because I used a Breaking Benjamin song in one of my Gears of War montages, so I just fucking blasted all of those things out of existence. And to be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if there are assassins that the music industry sends against 12 and 11-year-olds for music, but I really do wish I just privated the videos instead of just outright removing them, because I have still not found a way to get those back. Hopefully YouTube still has it somewhere, but I have no idea how to access it. But anyway, what I did find isn't those videos that I removed, but I found some of my old Justin TV live streams. That's how long I've been doing fucking content on the internet. I used to stream on Justin TV pretty often. I'd say like 3-4 times a week, and I was around 14, 15 at that time. And brother, let me tell you what, these are some of the finest live stream clips you'll ever see. As God is my witness, I make the claim that these are potentially the best live streaming clips to ever survive the Justin TV purge.
Shit, I'm the last one. Critical. We can do oh, shit. 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 Oh, shit. Shit. Ah! Damn it, I ran out of ammo. Ah! Split the defense. Split the defense. Hustle play. Go, critical. Buy something. Shit, I bought the same damn gun. I hate this fucking gun. Shit. I did it! Holy shit! Oh, Jesus. Alright, I'm back. Okay, what's going on here? Alright, who wants to tell me where to go?
Now that second clip, I know you're gonna need to cool down after all that adrenaline coursing through your veins after such a high-octane Paper Mario stream there, asking the chat to just guide me through it. How naive I was to think the chat had any fucking idea how to play the game, or really any game they backseat on. So, this is the only 2 surviving clips I could find of my Justin TV streaming career. I only streamed for like the first half of 2010 and maybe late 2009, I don't quite remember, but I streamed like Luigi's Mansion, a whole bunch of old style, old school games. And I'd really love to see some more of those, but they don't exist anymore unless Justin himself somehow kept the records from my old channel there. But for those that don't know, Justin TV was the predecessor to Twitch. Before Twitch, there was Justin TV. I remember when I was streaming on there, the most popular streams were like 200 viewers for Angry Video Game Nerd 24/7 streams, and also a channel called 4Player Podcast. And other than that, it was mainly just channels like mine, where it was like 10, 15 viewers, just playing a bunch of games in almost unrecognizable quality, so you didn't even know what the fuck you were looking at. It looked like snuff films or footage of Bigfoot. But that was just kind of the fun of it. It was just a crazy, wild time for the entire internet when it came to content creation. Now we're in luck because I got a fucking double whammy here. I'm coming in with both fists. I also found my old GameFAQs posts. Now, as I've said on the podcast, and I'm pretty sure I've talked about it in videos before, when I was first starting to create content using like my voice and narrating stuff, I came up with this series called Fun Tactics, and it was for Battlefield, Bad Company 2, as well as other games, but Bad Company 2 is where it really started with making commentary videos. And I used to post every video from the Fun Tactics series on GameFAQs, because at the time, GameFAQs was the most popular forum for gamers. This was like the hub of gaming. Like if you had gamer gunk in your veins, if you were an ultimate turbo gaming warlord, you were on GameFAQs writing shitty guides and participating in arguments there. It was like Reddit, but without everyone pretending to be super genius, MODOK, masterminds, supreme intelligence overlords. And it was just such a nice trip down memory lane seeing all this, because I thought GameFAQs had wiped all of their old shit from their old unused boards, but I guess for some reason these fossils have survived, which is great to see. Nowadays, GameFAQs isn't as popular as it used to be. I think there's only like 4 or 5 active users anymore. I really don't know. I don't know who's still using GameFAQs or what for, maybe to buy and sell drugs, but I haven't really heard anyone talk about it in a long time. But I gotta tell you, going back and visiting it feels so good. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these bad boys. Here they are in all their glory, all of these incredible Fun Tactics posts. Oh, goodness gracious, still the best fire to ever drop on the Bad Company 2 GameFAQs board, I would say. Now, I scrolled through a lot of these reading some of the comments because I was looking for one guy in particular, and I talked about it on the podcast. I had like an arch nemesis in here, like the Thanos to my Avengers. His name was Boney Tony. I'll never forget his name. He would insult the fuck out of me every time I posted one of these, but I couldn't find him in any of these threads. I don't know if like he removed his account to remove the post or something, but I couldn't find any of them anymore. So I don't know what happened there. I guess maybe there was like a truce at some point that I forgot about. But man, I still remember he would insult my voice, which is why in one of the videos I was talking about how it's my real voice, and I'm not afraid to be confident in the way that I sound. And then there's this post right here, episode 5. This was a very controversial one. So when I made this advanced spotting technique, people did not like it. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I know people were really upset because I wasn't actually helping the team at all. I was just kind of standing still and just making a mockery of it. And I gotta fucking tell you, they held my feet to the fire. I was thrown to the wolves, it felt like. They did not like the video, and I felt terrible. I felt horrible. I removed it and came up with a different fun tactic the next day. It was rough. They were eating my asshole for lunch. I wish I could see the video, because like I said, I don't actually remember what I did in it. If I had to guess, I imagine I was using like a tracker dart and shooting a teammate, maybe? Because at the time, I know I hated recon players that just camped in a bush sniping. So I guess probably what I would have done is just taken the tracker and shot my own teammate with it so the enemy could see them, which would make sense with the title, but I don't know for sure. I'm just spitballing because that sounds like something I would have done in Bad Company 2 back then. That would be my guess. But yeah, anyway, that was definitely the most controversial fun tactic video I ever made, and just seeing these posts again is such a fucking joy. It's just, man, what a crazy time on the internet back then. I think this is every surviving artifact from my early days on the internet that I could find. I really do hope at some point I can get access to the old deleted YouTube videos I had, because fuck, I want to see those so badly. I had AMVs and shit, I had montages, I had 1v1s, it was fuck, I really want to see all that shit again. And there were boner jams galore in those videos. I had boner jam after boner jam in those montages, and I don't remember a lot of those songs. So I'd like to hear those songs again too, like shit. I mean, hopefully those still exist somewhere on like some dusty old crusty ass YouTube server somewhere that I can eventually get access to, but for now, can't find them, and I just wanted to share this shit with all of you because I thought it was a really cool trip down memory lane and just a little journey to the past. And yeah, that's about it. So yeah. Today I wanted to tell a story I recently told on stream about the time I got scammed for all of the money I had at the time. I must have been 18, maybe 19. I was definitely still a virgin when this happened. Not that that's pertinent to the story, but just a little bit of lore there, a little side note. And my friend Andrew had come to visit me so we could party at my university. But unfortunately, when he came up, there were no parties, and if there were, we certainly weren't invited. The lacrosse bros did not want the gamer nerds coming in. So I've got my buddy Andrew over, and he's just eating fucking Reese's cups as we're doing nothing except playing like Tekken Tag Tournament 2. And then eventually we decided to find something else to do, and we found a carnival that had rolled into town. It was like one of those pop-up shop carnivals where they transport everything in on like a dilapidated school bus. So they scooted in and they set up shop nearby and were like, well, fuck it, we're not doing anything else. Let's go to this carnival. And I swear to God, when we got there, it looked like something out of Courage the Cowardly Dog. This place looked haunted. And we were basically like the only customers there. There was like a few children, or at least the spirits of children that were there like hanging out, and they were riding the only ride at this carnival, which was one of those spinning rides that it was like this giant horrifying metal contraption that just looked like a medieval torture device. It looked like a fucking transformer that had gotten hit with a stick of dynamite. It looked so rusted and gross. I have no doubt that was just a tetanus disaster waiting to happen. I don't even know if those kids are even alive anymore if they rode that fucking thing. But that's about all they had. They had that one ride and then a ton of shady carnival games. Not like the fun, goofy ones that you can actually win, you know, like the basketball one or shooting water into a target. They had only the rigged ones that you can't win under any circumstances. So this was less of a carnival that came in and more of just like a rolling scam that travels. But of course, I'm 18, 19 years old at the time. I'm a virgin, so all I'm really thinking about is titties and how I'm not seeing them. So, you know, I kind of disregard that, and I'm going around with Andrew, and we're playing a few of the games. Of course, we're not winning anything, not even like those tiny stuffed animals. We're getting nothing. The closest thing we're getting to a prize is stepping on a used condom in the parking lot. Like, there's just really nothing that we're accomplishing. We're just wasting money and wasting time. To reiterate the location, it was literally in a parking lot in between two condemned buildings. That was the location. This fucking barren wasteland looked like something out of the Fallout universe. It would have been less gross to just wander through catacombs, because at least then we wouldn't have been losing money doing it. But I came to this with like $200 in my wallet or something like that. And we were playing through these games, not winning, and I'd gone down like 50 or 60 bucks. I don't remember exactly what, but it was a lot. Like we were spending a lot of time just indulging in this filthy sin. Now, before I get to like the actual meat here of when I lost all my money and how this all happened, I want to drive home a point. I'm not exactly like a super gullible person, I don't think. I like to imagine like I'm a grizzly, chiseled man with hair on my sack because as an avid RuneScape player, I know how to recognize a scam. I started playing RuneScape in 2005, and I got used like a fleshlight on that game. I was falling for a lot of scams. I once gave my fucking password away to a guy who said that he didn't think my password was cool. So to prove him wrong, I just gave him my password in order to impress him. And then I lost my account to him. Like, I was scammed a lot. And it was an invaluable lesson it taught me. When someone's trying to take advantage of me, how to recognize a scammer, and just like all of these red flags that should go off in people's heads when they're faced with a scam. I think every child should be scammed at some point. Teach them a valuable lesson. They don't need to lose their house or anything, or like get wrapped up with a crypto gambling scam or whatever. But maybe just like a small scale scam for candy. Teach them a little something. That I always believed that the lessons I learned in RuneScape through getting scammed would be very helpful, and so far they have been. But on that day, nothing could have prepared me for the scam that I was going to encounter at that godforsaken carnival. The game was the toss a ball off a backboard, make it land in a bucket, and you win one of the jumbo prizes, like the fucking wumbo-sized unicorns and bears and shit. So for those that don't know, the game is a wooden backboard. It's a big circle, and it's at an angle. It's slanted this way. Underneath it is a basket that's poking out just enough for a ball to bounce off the backboard and fall in the basket. And you only have to do it one time, and you win the biggest prize. So this carnival's not very big, obviously. Andrew and I had passed this a few times, and it wasn't like there was some heavenly glow on it, like, this is the game for me, this is the one I want to play. But as we passed it for like the third or fourth time, the dude finally calls over. He's like, you guys are just wandering around, come over here, let's just like talk and hang out. And we weren't doing anything, so we'll come flirt with this guy, whatever. And he's just so charismatic. We're just talking, shooting the shit. I think he brought up sports, and at the time I was like a sports fan, so we talked a little bit. And then he just started talking about his game. He's like, if you guys want to play, you can just like play this game. It's $5 for 3 throws, might as well, and we'll just keep talking. I was like, that's a good deal, $5, 3 throws, and it looks really easy. And he's like, well, I don't want you to think that this is like rigged or anything. I want to show you that this can be done because, he must have seen us losing. So he demonstrated that it could be done. So he walks up. He's like a little off to the side of where I'm standing, where I have to stand to shoot. And he bounces it off the backboard, first try, right in the bucket. He's like, yeah, I can do this all day. Picks up the ball, does it again, picks up the ball, does it again. He does it like 3 times in a row. And it's like, okay, this game looks really easy. So then he hands me the balls. It's an absolute disaster. I'm sticking my dick in my own ass. I can't get a single ball even close to the bucket, no matter how lightly I throw it or where I'm hitting the backboard. For some reason, it's like it's being shot out of a cannon once it hits that backboard. And it's not making any sense to me because I'm doing like the exact same thing he is. I'm putting a little spin on it. It's just not getting the job done. Nothing's working. And then he hits me with this proposition. For $10, I'll give you 10 throws, and I'll give you your money back from this round and the previous round, and still give you the big prize. I was like, what in tarnation? This is the nicest guy on earth. What a great deal. 10 throws, $10, and I get all of my money back plus the big prize? What am I waiting for? I'm fucking losing money not playing right now. How am I going to say no to this? That right there is a huge red flag. I didn't know this until well after the fact, but this is a well-known carnival scam. When they start saying you could win your money back, they're doing that because they know you can't. The game is rigged. He shows me again, he's like, hey, let me just make sure you know that you can do this. Just do it just like this. So then he just makes it 5 more times right in front of me. Like, he just shows that it is very easily achievable. Hands me the balls. I go through all 10 balls. Nothing even close. Like, sometimes you can get it to bounce off the backboard and hit the basket inside, but the ball's so light that it bounces right out, like every single time. So now I'm $15 in the shitter and I'm feeling really bad. Andrew's trying to be like the guardian angel on my shoulder, like, Charlie, let's just go ahead and leave. You're not going to make this. It's clearly too difficult and there's some trick to it you don't know. And I took that as a challenge. I'm like, excuse me, motherfucker, what did you say to me? You say I can't do this? Sign me up for another round, let's ride. And it's the same deal. He doubled the price again, so $20 for 10 balls, but I can win my money back. So for $20, I can win my $15 back, and then I'm back where I started and everything's good, and I get the big prize. So again, I go through all 10 balls, nothing at all. Now, this is a lot of money. Again, this was $200. That's everything I had in my wallet. That's everything I had at the time for spendable cash. So this is a lot of money that I am juggling around here. We didn't go to the carnival with the intent to spend a lot, but just getting wrapped up in boredom and just like the will to not keep being a loser at the carnival just kept me spending. So after the $20, I'm like, Jesus Christ, what is going on? You know, it's definitely a me problem. I've seen this fucking guy do it, 10 times now. Now let me paint a picture of the guy for you, because it's not like he was some kind of athlete where it's like, oh, this guy, he probably plays in the NBA, he's just got real talent. No, this guy had a body like a bag of hot dogs. Like, he is not some guru of backboard bouncing or anything. So clearly, if he can do it, I should also be able to do it. Anyone should be able to do it. So he demonstrates it's possible again. He's like, bro, look, I really hate to see you lose this much money. I'm not going to double the price this time. Look, just give me another $20. I'll give you 10 more throws, and you can win all your money back, and I'll still give you the prize. I'm like, thank you for being such a nice guy. Damn near wanted to lean over and pat him on the ass. I was like, man, this guy, what a saint. So I give him another $20, and I do my 10 throws, and you know how the story goes. It doesn't go in. None of them go in. They're not even close. So at this point now, what am I, $55, $60 down almost? And it's been like half an hour of just this. Andrew's sitting there watching this whole train wreck happen. And it's not getting any better. The guy's gone from charming to full-blown scam mode. He like completely drops the facade of being nice. After like the second time I did $20 for 10 throws, he's like, yep, you want to do 20 more? You can win your money back. You probably want that money back. So he starts guilting me into it, and I'm like, he's right. I need that money back. So I give him another $20. I go through the balls. It's not even close. I lose again, and I'm sweating. I am sweating so fucking hard. Andrew is begging me not to keep playing the game, but I'm seeing red now, and I can't stop. I have to. So I do 20 again for another 10 throws to try and win my money back. I don't do it. I fail again. This fucking, like, this guy is still just prodding, still trying to squeeze every cent out of me. I'm just this dude's little dirty cum rag that he's wringing out and getting some money from. So we continue for another, like, 15, 20 minutes or however long it was. It felt like an eternity, and I'm down to my last $20 in my wallet. And, I'm praying, fucking give that $20 a kiss, and I spend it. I rolled the dice, I went for it one more time, and I don't win. I'm now completely out of money. I tell him that, and I start to just ask if he could just give me some of it back. I'm desperate. I wanted some of it back. I needed some of it back. And he's like, bro, I just can't do that. My boss would be really mad at me if I let that happen. But look, there's an ATM over, like, it was like a couple blocks away. He told me the location. He's like, just go to the ATM, get some more money, come back, and I will absolutely show you the perfect tricks. You're just not getting the technique right, and I'll show you what you're doing wrong. So this piece of shit tried to get me to go to an ATM to get more money out to keep playing his game, which was rigged. There was no way to win from the start. I'm shocked he didn't try and get me to sign some kind of contract with blood, this fucking demon. And I strongly considered it. I did, because that's a lot of money. It was like $140 that I spent on that game. $200 in total at that fucking carnival, but on that game in particular, there was $140 right in the goddamn toilet, right into that stinky dumpster. And I needed that back. Like, I really wanted that back. But Andrew talked me out of actually going to get more money from the ATM, like from savings or something. And I didn't go back. I ate the loss. That, to date, is one of like the most shameful moments / scams of my life. Now, it wasn't until way after the fact, in fact, even on stream is where I learned how he was actually able to do it. I thought that I remembered on one of those shows that bust carnival games that are rigged. I thought the reason he was able to make it and I wasn't was the angle he was able to throw from. He was able to throw much closer than I was. In this game, there is a line that you have to throw behind. There is like a little barrier that you have to throw from behind that in order to participate. And I thought that was the key. He was closer than I was, and that's how he was able to ricochet it off every time into the basket. But it's actually deeper than that. That does play a role, but he actually used a heavier ball. He didn't use the exact same balls that he gave me. His ball was weighted more, so when it bounced off the backboard, it didn't fly as far. So he was able to get it off the backboard into the basket and have it stay in the basket. and that's why mine couldn't do it. It was something I never noticed at the time, that he wasn't using the same balls he was giving me. He had a heavier one, or a heavier set to use. So even if I went and somehow found $1,000 to put into that game that night, I would have never had a chance of winning my money back, despite this guy showing me how it was done and promising me that if I just made one single ball in that bucket, I'd get all my money back and all the problems would be solved. I still absolutely despise that guy. I hold a grudge on that shit. It takes a lot to scam someone right to their face, especially like an 18-year-old college student who is telling you how much the money means to him, and for you to knowingly keep misleading them and make them believe they can win it back and that you're a good guy. Like, you're a giant piece of shit. Besides the obvious lesson I learned from this experience, I also learned how to fuck them in the ass. The games that aren't rigged, I mastered. I decided I wanted to win all their big prizes because fuck them. I'm able to win their biggest prizes on my first try, and I just give those prizes away to people at the Carnival so I never feel scammed again. It's definitely petty, but it's a little bit of revenge for what the Carnival took from me on that night. So I posted this video a few years ago, and it's showing me winning like the basketball game and the beer bottle game for the giant prizes. Both of these games are also rigged in favor of the Carnival, but I was able to master the way of doing them. So the basketball game, the rim is an oval instead of a circle, so you have to have an absolutely perfect high arcing shot in order for it to make it. And for the beer bottle game, you have to lean at the right time and the right like distance lean, and you can stand it up every time. So I master these games, I get the big prizes, and I give that shit away. Just that way they lose a little bit of money on those prizes, a little bit of pettiness from Charlie. I'm like the fucking Batman of carnivals. So yeah, anyway, I just wanted to share this story. Maybe it'll be like educational for someone out there, but at the end of the day, I just thought it was a fun story. I'm over it now. I still don't like the guy who did that to me, but yeah, I just thought it was worth sharing. That's about it. See ya. Porn, the great uniter. The one force that ties strangers to strangers in a way they don't even realize. The one thing every human being has in common, the love of porn, the art of porn, the ethereal beauty of the craft. Now, as the title of the video suggests, I used to watch the same porn video for the better part of 2 years, perhaps a little longer than 2 years, but I'm going to say 2 years just to err on the side of caution. I've made it no secret that I refuse to get a haircut at the moment, and that I also used to have very bad OCD. Not your generic watered down bullshit meaningless version of OCD where you move your car keys from the counter to the drawer because you don't like them on the counter. That's not fucking OCD, you goddamn bigot. Don't you hijack what OCD actually means. I had literal OCD, and one of my rituals was watching the exact same lesbian porn video for the better part of 2 years. And I want to tell you what happened as a result of doing that. Now, let's go ahead and start. The video was called Nice Pair of Lesbians. Let's take a moment of silence to remember that beautiful video from redtube.com. It is no longer on redtube.com. Okay, thank you for participating. The video still exists. I know, I get emails all the time like, hey, I found that lesbian porn that you used to jerk off to, you know, that used to haunt your fucking boners. Here it is. Yes, I know it's still on the internet, but in like 240 and 360p. On RedTube, it used to be 480. 480p or higher does not exist anywhere on the internet anymore. Trust me, I have looked. But that's besides the point. That's just to give you the context of what the video is. Maybe someone else out there used to also have OCD and jerk off to this video for 2 years straight. And if so, you're not alone, my brother, or my sister. You and I now share a cosmic bond, a bond stronger than the bond between a mother and her child. I love you. Now, it wasn't just watching this lesbian porno. I had an entire routine for it, like a choreographed dance routine for jerking off to this video. And I know I've talked about a little of this on the podcast before, but I still get emails asking me to talk more about that porno that I jerked off to for 2 years. So I figured I'd talk more about it. I also get emails asking me what's my Twitch account, and I'm glad you asked. It's twitch.tv/moistcritical. Go drop a follow, subscribe. Love to see you over there. I stream daily. Twitch.tv/moistcritical. Fuck yeah. But anyway, so this routine that I came up with, well, not that I came up with, that I kind of fucking cursed myself with and burdened myself with at the time. I would make certain facial expressions during certain points in the video. I would say certain things to the actresses in the video, and make no mistake, you goddamn delusional incels, the porn actresses are just that, they're actresses. They have a script of certain moves they're going to do. It's not like they're just fingering themselves and ass blasting their assholes with their fists for your enjoyment alone. It is a job, and they are actresses. Get it through your fucking skull. But anyway, I would say things to them like, "Oh, you're so hot. That's so sexy. I'm touching my dick to you," as if they could hear me, and as if I was communicating to them directly as like the director of this video. It was a really weird routine. It really was. To kind of give you a brief oversight of all of it, I'm not going to walk you through every step that I would do here. In fact, I don't even remember all of them anymore. But before I would watch the video, I would queue it up and let it all buffer and load, because this was a long time ago. I fucking using RedTube, so obviously it's a long time ago. And while it was buffering and loading, I would turn around from the video, so that way I couldn't see them, and they couldn't see me, obviously. And I would look at my penis until it was completely flaccid, entirely soft. So that way I was coming in there with like a clean canvas, and they were going to 100% get me from 0 to hero. So once I was certain that my dick was super soft, I would then sit down and get ready for the action. As it would start, I would say hello to the girls, and I'd compliment them on their beauty. The video started with a girl fingering herself, and I would compliment her on how great she was doing, and then the other girl joined in, and then I'd say hi to her, like, "Oh, hey, you just stopping by?" Shit like that. It was really fucking weird. And honestly, I hope the NSA was watching during those times, because I would love to see those documents. I'd love to see that film. I think that shit would make for a really incredible case study on OCD, because that shit was goofy as fuck. And I would love to remember exactly all the shit that I would say. I don't necessarily want to see underage me jerking himself off into the webcam or anything. I could skip that part. But I at least want to see what I was saying to the girls during the video. But that's kind of how it went. Facial expressions, words and things I would say to the girls. It was always the same. I had to make sure I said the same things to the girls. I had to make sure I made the same facial expressions. I even made sure to keep track of licking my lips. I had certain time marks where I felt I needed to lick my lips at those times, otherwise I was disrespecting them. It was very weird. Now, I did this for, like I said, the better part of 2 years, and honestly probably a little bit more, but we'll say 2 years, and I didn't deviate from that video. I didn't venture out. That was my home. I lived in Nice Pair of Lesbians on RedTube, and they took my home away. It's not there anymore. I'd like to remind you all that it's not fucking there. It's a goddamn crime. It's a fucking sin what they've done removing that. But now, to tie it back to the title of the video, I watched the lesbian porn for 2 years. Here's what happened. What happened is I recognized how weird it was, and I started to really combat my OCD, and I started cheating on the porno by watching other videos. I did. I'll come out and say it. I fucking cheated on that porn video and watched other ones. And that's what happened. I stopped being so fucking weird through a lot of effort to try and combat my OCD rituals. I've talked about that in the past, so I'm not going to get into how I did that or the steps I took. But that's the result of watching porn for 2 years. You feel like a fucking degenerate loser, and then eventually you stop, hopefully, if you try hard enough. But anyway, that's the story for today. Thank you all. See ya. It's been a little while since I told a story, so I figured it was about time that I sit you all down by the campfire and put some fear in your boners. I'm going to tell you a really recent story, something that I think everyone can take a lesson away from and use it in their everyday lives. So before I really dig into the meat of this, I want to preface this by saying I have not pissed my pants in a very long time. Now that that's off the table, let's get into what the story is about. As you've probably surmised from that intro, it's about pee-peeing in the pants. It's about a time where I flirted with that devil. And this all takes place in the mythical year of 2019 AD on October 4th. It was literally 6 days ago as of recording this video. It was right before going to happy hour, and if you watch my streams at twitch.tv/moistcritical, you know that the streams are fucking bangers, and that I also pee a lot. I drink a lot of water, which means I'm constantly expelling a lot of urine from my body at jet stream-like pace. I really fucking pressure wash my toilet when I get in there to do that business, so if urinating is considered a game of chess, then I'm the goddamn grandmaster. Now, this was right before going to happy hour. I had just gotten all dressed up and spruced up, ready for action, and we needed to pick my friends up before going to the bars we were going to. But before going, I had the little inkling of a pee-pee coming on. It was still brewing, but it hadn't matured yet. So I figured there really wasn't any point to doing that. The bars weren't far, my friends weren't far. I'd just hold it till I got there and then just do my business out there in public. Just kind of to assert my dominance, like, hey, I'm not afraid to mark a urinal with my seal of approval. I'm not afraid to stamp this with my penis juice. So I just wanted to wait. I didn't see the point in going before heading over. That being said, on the journey to my friend's place, it was still very tame, very manageable, barely even noticed it. Got to my friend's place, didn't notice it. The second they got in my car, it's like they unleashed the piss demon. All of a sudden, all at once, it hit me like a fucking brick. Like a train had left the station, a bullet train, and it was hitting my bladder. There was no putting this genie back in the bottle. I was going to tinkle, it was just a matter of where. In my nice trousers, in a dirty bathroom somewhere on the way, or on the side of the road. The last two options weren't exactly options, because to get to the bar you had to go over this pretty long bridge, and there was no way I was going to be able to hold it through the duration of the bridge, so I'd be just trapped like a prisoner in its cell in the car, just urinating all over my friends. Or I'd have to hold it and literally cork my cock, and I'd probably fucking drown internally with urine pouring out of my mouth like I just swallowed a cyanide capsule of urine. It was just a nightmarish situation because I really had to go. So I informed Tiana, who was now driving, and I told my friends, look, I'm sorry to be an inconvenience, but we got to pull over somewhere to go to the bathroom because I'm going to literally ruin our happy hour and turn it into the not so happy hour by coating this entire car in piss. So they understood, but the problem was there really wasn't anywhere to stop. There was no real gas stations on the way to the bridge, so we'd have to go out of our way to find one for me, and my friends didn't really want to do that, so they're trying to encourage me to just go piss somewhere next to a dumpster around some of the dilapidated buildings, because the area on the way to the bar looks like it's been hit by a nuclear missile, but I didn't want to take that chance. Because a friend of mine got put on the sex offenders registry for public urination. He got caught while peeing next to a building, or on the side of a building, and I just didn't want to roll those dice at all. I bet if I had just went down to take a piss by a building, a fucking cop would have popped out of a bush in a ghillie suit and said gotcha on me. I didn't want to, risk that at all. I'd drop trow for 1 second, just unzip, and all of a sudden a police car fucking drift in sideways, just sirens blaring, and then take me down just for public urination, and then all of a sudden, bang, I'm a sex offender. I just didn't want to risk that at all. I didn't want to take that chance at all, so that was not an option for me. We were going to go out of our way to one of the gas stations that I knew of, and it wasn't that far out of the way, so it wasn't a huge inconvenience, but I still felt bad. Unfortunately, the gas stations were of no help, and also the gas stations look like something straight out of the Fallout universe as well. But the first gas station we go to, everything looks okay. There's a bathroom there, which is a plus. It's one of the bathrooms that's on the outside, so you need a key to get into it. So all confidently, while I'm like basically grabbing my cock, just trying to keep everything where it needs to be before I explode with urine, I go in there waddling in and I say to the guy, hey, look, I've got to use your shitter. Can I get the key to that bad boy? And he's not all there. He sounds like he's one Xanax bar away from just total overdose and collapse. So I couldn't understand most of the words he said, but he kept mumbling about the hot dog man. I didn't know what that meant. I thought he was making like idle conversation. Maybe there was a hot dog vendor outside that he wanted me to go buy from before he gave me the key. I didn't know, so I asked him, what are you talking about? The hot dog man? Who's a hot dog man? I love hot dogs, even though I fucking hate hot dogs. Just anything to get that fucking key. Felt like it was a mission in a video game that I needed to get that key to complete the quest. But so I'm making the small talk, and his answers make no sense to me. He's like, no bathroom, hot dog man. So then I'm starting to connect these dots in my head. Okay, so the hot dog man, no bathroom. Hot dog man must have gone in there and wreaked havoc. He must have just fucking tore that bitch down and lit it on fire with an explosion from his ass or something. So this bathroom is decommissioned is what you're telling me, right? Bathroom is not working because of hot dog man. He just shakes his head, no. Hot dog man. I felt like I was in a goddamn horror movie, as if like the hot dog man was terrorizing this area like the fucking Slender Man. I didn't know what he was talking about with the hot dog man. All I knew was I was not getting that key from him. So I walked out all disappointed because I knew I wasn't getting the key, and it's all because of this menace, the hot dog man, who I'd never even fucking heard of in fairy tales. So I had to waddle back to the car disappointedly, and even in more of a rush, the sense of urgency was overwhelming. Felt like the entire universe was collapsing inside on me. Also, as a side, there was no hot dog vendor outside. There wasn't even the remnants of what could have been a hot dog vendor at any point in time. So I don't know who the fuck this hot dog man is. But anyway, we go up another maybe mile up the road where I know another gas station is, and it's just as decrepit as this one. And this one was like a goddamn orgy of weirdos. There was one guy who I am 100% sure was on spice, because he was just fucking fumbling around. Luckily, he had hit just enough spice so he wasn't totally nude and dragging his dick on the floor, but he was at that level of spice where he can't really stand up properly, and he has a football that he's throwing against a wall and hitting himself with in the face off the rebound. So that's the kind of place we were at, looking for this bathroom, and I knew it was going to be gross, and I'm a bit of a germaphobe, but I was throwing that aside because I needed to be strong, because I didn't want to piss myself, because I hadn't pissed myself in at least a long time. I don't know, I was trying to think of like an exact time I pissed myself, but it's been a long fucking time. I have a pretty clean streak there, and I wasn't about to have that collapse on this night. So we get to this disgusting gas station, and it's another one where the bathroom's on the outside, so I need to go in to get the keys. There's a guy in there playing the lottery, and he's taking a long time scratching it off. That's fine. That's not his fault. He doesn't know that I'm about to explode behind him like an IED of urine. So I'm not mad at him at all. He was none the wiser. Not his fault or anything. When he's finally done, I go up to the counter. I say, hey, man, can I get the keys to that turbo shitter? I gotta go do some business over there. He's super cool about it. Gives me the keys, and I'm on my way. The guy who's throwing the football now fixates his eyes on me, and he wants to get me involved in his game. I can tell because while he couldn't really get the words out properly, he was making motions like, I'm gonna hit you with this spiral real quick, Tom Brady style, and I just... I'm putting my hands up like, please, no, thank you, politely. I've got to use the restroom. Finally get around the corner to where the bathrooms are on the side of the place. There's a man asleep on the curb in front of the bathrooms. I don't know if he was passed out or just really tired. Maybe at one point he was the gate guardian of the bathrooms, but now that he found bath salts, now he just sleeps there. I really don't know. But, I go... not over him because I was already on the side. I go around him, and then I finally put that key into the bathroom, and a sense of elation and jubilation just fills my whole body as I finally turn it, and I open it, and I'm greeted with the most unholy smell this world has ever concocted. It smelled like a fucking hate crime. It was the most repulsive, revolting smell I've ever smelled in my life, and I've smelled some shit. I've smelled some serious shit, but this was something else. This smelled like the hot dog man had gone there, killed somebody, and then took a shit all over the corpse. And it's really weird because the toilet itself was pristine. The toilet was clean enough to drink out of, eat off of. It was a fantastic looking toilet, not a speck of dirt or poopy in sight. But the bathroom itself was tainted with the remnants of 1,000 angry spirits that were all shitting in unison. It's no doubt the work of the hot dog man. There's not a single doubt in my mind. He must just be like a serial bathroom shitter. Just goes around shitting in all the bathrooms, fucking terrorizing them, ruining them for people that gotta pee like me. But I really don't know. Anyway, the smell was so overwhelming. For just a brief moment, I relaxed my penis sphincter, and a little bit of urine dripped onto my boxers. I don't count that as pissing my pants because it was just enough where it only dribbled out, and I was able to once again voluntarily collapse the muscle so it didn't squeak out anymore as I finally approached the toilet, and I finally released the sweet relief into the toilet, and I finally peed. I couldn't breathe. It was fucking hazardous to my health, no doubt, with all the shit particles floating around in the air, but god damn it, I finally peed. So the lesson to take away from here: just when you feel like even like the smallest amount of pee building inside of you, just piss. It's gonna get worse. You're gonna just need to pee. Don't try and hold it. Don't be a hero like I was, because you might find yourself in a similar situation where you dribble on yourself and you visit a really disgusting smelling bathroom that really just ruins your sense of smell for like a good 2 hours. But anyway, that's the story. The lesson to learn: pee when you feel like you have to, even a little bit. Don't try and hold it, because that is just absolutely devastating and leads to this domino effect of unfortunate circumstances and a lot of stress. That's it. See ya. I've actually had this idea for a video for quite some time now, but I kept debating with myself on whether or not it was a good idea to make something about fart porn, and then today I found Harley Quinn farts, and I knew this is what God put me on the earth for.
That jalapeno chili's talking back at me.
Yeah, I feel her on that one. I can't eat jalapeno chili without ending up spreading my ass cheeks in front of my phone camera and blasting farts at it.
Don't be a stinker. I'll be stinking this place up soon enough.
No, you're bluffing. Jesus Christ, Harley, show some mercy. Gotham is doomed. What tremendous foreplay. This could be the end of Batman as we know him, his most powerful adversary yet. Now, obviously, I can't show you the video past this point, because then it just becomes ass in the camera, bare ass in the camera, with a pulsating chocolate starfish playing a symphony of flatulence, like this crescendo of farts throughout the rest of the video. So instead, I'll play the audio, and we can react to it together. Come on, goddammit, I'm ready. Play me a song on that rectum radio.
I'm the worst of the worst. Ooh, wow.
This is my problem when it comes to fart porn. Unrealistic expectations of men in the real world. See, this is all just fantasy. You can't fart like this all the time, ladies. Yeah, a girl will watch this, get super fucking horny, and then she'll have sex with a man, and he can't even fart like this. This kind of paints this unrealistic picture of what fart sex is supposed to be like and sound like. My farts don't sound anything like these wet celebrations of flatulence. Mine sound like very slowly letting the air out of a balloon. My farts are embarrassing. Girls would laugh at my farts if I did these kind of videos in a Harley Quinn cosplay. Now, the only criticism I can really give here, she's doing a great job blowing some farts out here. She truly is absolutely killing it. But I don't like that she laughs about it. It's not supposed to be comedy. This is fart porn. This shit's supposed to be hot. Don't laugh. Don't like shame me because I'm over here jerking off to your farts. All right? Take it seriously a little bit next time, Harley Quinn, please. But keep farting.
My asshole's talking some serious shit right now.
A classic. Truly a classic. That's a line that's gonna echo throughout time. You know, like you got Blade Runner, like Tears Lost in the Rain, and then right underneath that you'll have my asshole's talking some serious shit right now, as Harley Quinn is blowing some fucking fat farts into the camera.
Pay up, B-man. Gas ain't free.
Jesus Christ, hit the deck. That fart had some power behind it. I could fucking feel that one through the computer screen. Nearly threw me back into my seat there in the recoil. This lady has some incredible one-liners. Like, gas ain't free. My asshole's talking some serious shit right now. This shit's gold. This is honestly, it feels like a comic book writer wrote her script. Like, if there was an evil Batman villain that was a fart fetishist, and she was taking down Batman with some fat fucking gnarly farts, these are the one-liners I think they'd actually use. This is fantastic. This shit's all like one take, too. She is a professional. This is just probably the perfect fart porn video. Granted, I haven't seen too many. My horizons haven't really been expanded that much in the world of fart porn or anything, but of the few that I've seen, this one is by far S tier. Whereas all the other fart porns that I've, taken a sampling of, a quick little taste test of, they all seem to just want to show the asshole farting, and there's really no art to it. But this is almost like a poetic celebration of what it means to be human and to fart. It's just such a well-made video that'll no doubt bring a tear to your eye and some cum to your penis.
Oh, ooh, them stinkers. Oops, I think I got you in the eye. Ooh, ooh.
In conclusion, fart porn is art. I rest my case. Thank you. So yeah, here's a little touching story for all of you from my past. I believe this was in my freshman or sophomore year of high school, and puberty was coming in full swing. My body was changing, I was getting hair on my nutsack, my butthole. My height really wasn't changing. I've pretty much been short my whole life. 5'6" has pretty much been my max level cap. Hopefully soon there'll be a new patch or a new expansion set to this godforsaken world where they can increase my height without having to obliterate my fucking legs in some back alley meth lab. But anyway, that's not really part of the story about me being short. Anyway, I was going through a really hard porn addiction phase. I was an absolute porn fiend, and one day before class, I wanted to see some vagina. I wanted to ejaculate. I wanted to just bust a nut real hard before class. But I couldn't. I watched a lot of porn for the better part of 25 minutes, which for me that was a bender and a half. Usually I would have come 3 times during that period back then. But on this cursed day, my well was dried up and I had no more semen left to give my boxers. It's also worth noting as an important detail, during this time I never needed to jerk off. I never even knew how. I'd always just ejaculate after getting an erection, and sometimes I'd try different techniques like slapping it around or something to see if that helped the sensations or anything, but I never really jerked off. That's the point here. I could ejaculate using just the power of my intellect and euphoric gamer senses. I was able to just propel cum when I was stimulated visually or mentally. Alright, so now take that little nugget of wisdom and put it in your back pocket and save it for trivia night. It's going to play a major role in the plot a little further down the line in this story. So I wanted to stay home and just ejaculate because I thought something was wrong with me. I thought my dick stopped working or God banned me from ejaculating. I just thought something was awry, and I wanted to stay home, but my parents wouldn't let me because that day we had a school play to perform. It was Hamlet, and I was playing the role of fucking P. Diddy. Who's the character with the P in his name? Palpatine? Jesus, it's definitely not fucking Palpatine. I'm not playing Chancellor Palpatine or anything like that. It's like Polonius. I was playing Polonius, and he gets stabbed, and I guess that's like crucial to the story maybe. So I couldn't miss it. My parents didn't want me to miss it. They'd already planned on going to see it, so I couldn't skip school that day to ejaculate. Plus, that's not exactly a strong reason. I was very forward with why I didn't want to go to school. I was telling my parents, look, I just want to come. No sane parents can be like, you know what, that's a good excuse, Harold. Let's not send him to school today. So I get sent to school. I go through school per usual, and the play was supposed to take place right after school ended. So, I was able to push back the desire to ejaculate and all that for the entire school day and up till the play, and I was rehearsing my lines or my actions, and all of a sudden, all at once, it was like a light switch went off. It was like I was having a fucking Jimmy Neutron brain blast in like the costume room, and all I was seeing was porn. Like my eyes just rolled into the back of my head, and all I was looking at was porn. Like I was Professor Xavier who just jacked into Cerebro, and I was seeing all of the porn that I'd ever seen in my life all at once. And I got hard as a fucking rock. And I knew that was dangerous because, like I said earlier, I never needed to like physically stimulate myself to ejaculate. So I'm sitting there in my Polonius costume on the verge of just blowing a hard load into it right before going on stage, and I'm panicking because we're about to perform this play and I have some shit I gotta do in the play. Like I'd hate to be the guy that gets stabbed in the play, the curtain rolls back, and then all of a sudden I'm just laying on the floor with a boner and a wet spot in front of the whole school and all the school's parents. That'd be terrifying for all of them and myself. So I'm trying to brainstorm ideas. I didn't want to just go blow a load into the toilet because that thought never really occurred to me then. So my plan was to just start chugging water as quickly as I could and just try and pee out my erection. I thought that would work if I just kept urine flowing the best I could. I only had like T-minus 20 minutes till showtime, so I killed like 2 water bottles and the plan worked. I was able to like basically piss out all of my boner, and I was able to perform the play the best I could. But the lesson here is no half measures. If you feel like you need to ejaculate, then fucking do it. Get it out of the way because you never know when it might come back to haunt you. You might be in the middle of a school play and then all of a sudden you're spitting out baby gravy into your costume and trying not to cry in front of the whole class. Just don't edge for like 9 hours. Just get it done, get it over with, and then be productive for the rest of the day. That's the lesson. I guess the lesson is quite literally jerk off if you need to. That's it. See ya. Hello, my friends. Happy afternoon to all of you. Christmas season is upon us, as I'm sure we all know, so please don't forget to leave out a joint and lighter and glass of milk for Santa Claus as he wiggles his fat ass down your chimney to deliver your Fortnite skins this year. Today, to get into the Christmas spirit, I thought I'd share a story. It's a story as old as time itself. I'm sure anyone out there can relate to it. It's a story of when I first tried to suck my own penis. All men have tried it. There's 2 types of men in this world, men who have tried to suck their own cock, and liars. So obviously I have tried before. And I'm pretty sure I've talked about this on the podcast, but I figured I'd make this entire video dedicated to it because I keep getting emails asking if I suck my own penis, and Twitch chat comments have I sucked my own penis. So let's just tell the whole story start to finish the way it was written by Homer in the Odyssey. So to set the stage, I was probably around like 13 or 14, I'm not exactly sure when. And I was just starting to refine my palate and get a taste for what I liked from pornography and titties and stuff on the internet. And during this time I was very religious, so I was kind of fearful and ashamed of watching porn. I thought anytime I even touched my wiener, I was giving God the middle finger and he was ashamed of me and sad and he'd frown, so I didn't do it all that often. But occasionally the mood would strike me right and I'd Google image search for boobies and butts and vaginas, and, get very excited looking at these things, give it 2 thumbs up, and sometimes even save it to favorites on my folder. But anyway, one particular evening, I was extremely horny. I was Googling boobies left and right. I was like fucking Professor Xavier jacking into Cerebro. I was looking at boobies all over the place. I could see them all over the internet, and man, I was just really fucking feeling myself. I didn't jerk off or anything, though, because like I said, I thought jerking off was a bit too far in the eyes of Christianity, and Google Images was tame enough where I'd be forgiven. So I was looking at these images, and I eventually said, this is enough. I went into the bathroom. I was going to take my shower. I was still sailing full mast. I was hard as a fucking diamond. And man, I was just so horny. I would have fucked my own ass if I could. But anyway, I'm standing there super erect in front of my shower, and I look at my wiener, and I'm like, damn, that's my fucking winky doodle right there. It's going in my mouth. But I was never a flexible guy. I could never throw my legs behind my head and start nibbling on my ball sack or anything. I just was never flexible at any point in my life. But for some reason, I got the idea that I could absolutely accomplish the sucking of my own cock. So I attempted. I get like halfway down, and then I damn near need life alert because I thought I was going to snap my spine in half going for this advanced contortionist move. So I'm just locked in this fucking demonic pose looking like Schmeagol admiring his precious in Lord of the Rings. And then I start to worry, like, damn, if I die here, the authorities are going to find my body looking like some type of sexual deviant. This is going to be the worst way of going out. I'm not even going to have, like, a cool going out story. It's just the obituary is going to read, yeah, he died doing what he loved, attempting to blow himself or something like that. He broke himself in half going for a self-blowjob. That's not, like, cool at all. But I still wanted to keep trying. I wasn't deterred. I really thought I could pull it off if I just kept giving it my all. I started to get like anime inspired, like with the power of friendship and by never giving up, resiliency, persistence. And if I get real angry, I'll go Super Saiyan and suck my own dick real quick. So I kept trying. I probably tried for in total maybe like a minute, but it felt like an hour. And it just wasn't happening. I knew it wasn't happening. And then I decided it's time to pee, but I never really adjusted myself. I was still looking at my dick as it was looking at me. We're making eye contact. I was staring down the hole of the one-eyed snake there. And I started to, fire on all cylinders to pee. And it's a little harder to pee with an erection. It takes a little bit longer to travel up the urethra. So I had a little bit of time here. And it wasn't until the pee was about to reach the point of no return where I'm like, damn, I'm about to golden shower myself. My face is looking right down the barrel of this loaded gun. So like a fucking Matrix move or like a superhero move, I start peeing and I dodge it. I lift my head back up and then I just start fountaining it over myself and I'm safe, I'm dry, I don't get pee in my face or anything, but I almost did. The point I'm making is, yes, I've tried to suck my own dick. It did not go well. God did not bless me with the gift of being able to suck myself off. And I'm sure most men probably can't do it, but there are some select few champions out there that can. And don't let any man tell you they haven't tried. I promise you, nearly every single man on this planet has tried to suck their own penis at one point or another. You don't have to be embarrassed. There's so many of us out there. Come home. Tell your story of sucking your own penis to friends and family to let them know that, yes, you're human. Yes, you've tried. Amen, brother. Take it easy, everyone. See ya. How big is my penis? A question I've been asked millions of times, so much so that it's infiltrated my dreams, where even the figments in my dreams are asking me that question. During every stream I ever do, I'm asked, how big is your wiener? How big is your cock? How big is that womb room? And I make it no secret, I don't hide the fact, that my schlong is 6.5 inches of pure steel, bravery, and courage. So now, again, I'm sure I will continue to be asked it during my Twitch streams. I'll link my Twitch below so that way you too can see how many times I'm asked that question per stream. But this brought up something pretty interesting. Because always the follow-up when I say 6.5 inches pure sledgehammer is that flaccid or erect? And it got me thinking, who the fuck has a 6.5 inch flaccid dick? That is downright unholy. That would be biblical length that would rival God himself as the creator of the universe. That's just downright ridiculous. No, my penis is not 6.5 inches flaccid. I don't think any man's is. I'm sure I'm wrong, but speaking purely biologically, it just doesn't make any sense. The science you can't comprehend how a penis could be 6.5 inches flaccid, soft. It's unreal. So that got me thinking, let's talk about growing versus showing. A grower versus a shower. I am a grower. Now, what is a grower? A grower is a man whose penis is only presentable when it's fully erect at full mast. A shower is a man whose penis is presentable when even when it's soft. It doesn't need to put its makeup on and get in a good mood and stimulated before it can be presented and have people applaud it and be proud about it. However, the majority of men are not showers. I believe it is only 5% of the global population of cock-wielding men are considered showers. That statistic may be wrong. Maybe I just made it up. I'm really not sure, but I'm going to present it as a fact anyway. It's a very small portion of men in the world that are showers. Now, like I said, I'm not a shower, not at all. My flaccid dick is embarrassing. If I get out of a shower and I look at it in the mirror, I feel like a fucking vampire and just wish my reflection wasn't there because I saw my flaccid dick. I never take dick pics, no flaccid dick pics, because I always fear the day that somehow it ended up on the internet and then I'd never be allowed back on the internet just out of pure shame because it's my flaccid dick. The fucking pencil eraser flaccid dick out there. Now, like I said, it gets up to 6.5 inches of steel and bravery. Take my word for it, I swear to God. But up until that point, it is a sad fucking ice cream cone. If my soft penis fell out of my pants in front of an on-duty police officer, he wouldn't even arrest me. He'd feel too bad about it. And the point I'm making here is, let's just go ahead and drop the, when you ask for dick size, is it flaccid or hard? The size the man gives is always going to be when it's performing its best. No man is going to say his flaccid dick size because they're all flaccid dicks are sad. Like, what guy's going to say, yeah, I'm 3 inches soft? Oh, cool. Well, now you've completely lost that person's interest and they think less of you. That's why every time I've ever done the bedroom rodeo, as it's called around the college campuses, I'm not quite too familiar with the term for fucking or anything, but always in the past, I would never let my flaccid dick be seen. I just scramble around the room like Batman who just lost his mask, so now Bruce Wayne's desperately trying to conceal his identity. I do that, but with my dick, making sure that it was not seen in any light whatsoever. So again, why am I bringing this up? Well, to answer the Twitch question that I always fucking get, A, and B, just assume when you ask for dick size that it's being dealt with in erect units. No one's gonna tell you flaccid dick size because they're all fucking small when they're flaccid. Mine, like I said, is around like the 3-inch mark flaccid. Yahoo, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and give that as my answer to the how big is your dick. I'm gonna tell you it when it's doing its best, which is when it's erect. It's 6.5 inches. Don't forget it. See ya.